from today's class, the thing that stuck out to me the most was when we were talking about consequentialism and deontology, and kind of how the idea that they could be used in tandem. When I was reading the reading, when I was kind of reading this out, I was just like, I wasn't really a fan of either of them. I kind of saw the benefits of both in a sense, because for consequentialism, I mean, it makes sense. Like, the consequences, like, I would say, are more important often than like the action itself. And that like intent is important, but ultimately it's like what comes out of it, because like you could do something with good intentions and it come out bad, like, like the road to hell is paved with good intentions. um and also, but like, also I kind of saw like deontology. I was like, oh, I get like the importance of like understanding that the actions themselves do have morality to them in some way, even though and like as I said in class, these actions are, and the morality that's tied to them, are based more on like already existing traditions rather than like some intrinsic morality that they have. And so kind of working through that, I was just like, I wasn't really a fan of either of these ideas. I thought they're really limiting in a lot of ways. Like consequentialism, like I said, they kind of focus more on like the consequences overall. And not only was that like difficult to do because like intentions at least are somewhat important, but also it'd be hard to like, as Mackie explained, it'd be hard to like kind of really quantify exactly what the best outcome would be and like to measure that kind of thing. At the same time, I also had issues with deontology because the morals that we're putting on these actions aren't like inherent, but rather based, like they're just like projections from other traditions on them. And so it kind of to me felt cheap, and like it didn't feel like they were actually like moral actions, or the actions had morals themselves. It's just like kind of what we assume these actions had. And so then like today in class when we were talking about it and like bringing up like these issues, kind of the idea of bringing them together and kind of working them together to help with your morality was something I didn't think of really when I was doing the reading. And I kind of think that covers both bases. I mean, I don't think it works perfectly with each other, but where like I think consequentialism kind of fails with the fact that I think intentions are kind of important, deontology can kind of help with that because it focuses on the actions having morality rather than just like the outcome itself. And then where deontology kind of fails in the fact that like a lot of the times it's like more focused on like the actions and whether they're right or moral. Consequentialism kind of like can help and come into play and kind of pick up where it left off by focusing on the consequences and that morality. So they kind of like go hand in hand in the fact that they can work together, but that wasn't really something that I was like picking up or thinking from like when I read the book. And so kind of working through that in class was really helpful for me, and kind of being able to see like examples, the difference between the two, because also kind of like consequentialism was kind of like not difficult to understand, but kind of the examples of where it could be applied to were, and so discussing that in class was helpful.